Hey everybody, it's Lovett. Before we get to the show today, I mentioned this on Pod Save America, but I also wanted to let you know here, I am taking a couple weeks off to work on something. I don't want to say more now, but I'm very excited to tell you about it when I'm back. And have no fear, while I'm out, we've lined up an absolutely bonkers lineup of guest hosts: Maria Bamford, Andy Richter, Louis Virtel, Larry Wilmore, Adam Rippon, Matt Rogers, Ian Carmel, Langston Kerman, and Guy Branum. This week, we kick things off with two comedy legends. We have Maria Bamford on today's show and Andy Richter hosting the live show. Tickets for that show with Andy, which records on Thursday night, that's 2 days from now, are on sale and will go fast. Get tickets for that show and all of these special shows at crooked.com/events. And listen, am I worried that they're going to be too good and I'll no longer be able to run through the hall shouting, "I am the talent. I am the only indispensable person. I am the talent. I am the only indispensable person"? Yeah, sure. I am worried about that. Anyway, see you in a few weeks. I'll be back for our first tour show in North Carolina next month. But without further ado, on to the show with our very first guest host, the incredible, the legendary, the one and only Maria Bamford.
Hi, I'm producer Chris.
Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm the executive producer.
Hi, I'm Hallie. I'm the writer.
Hi, I'm Maria Bamford. I'm the guest host of Love It or Leave It Weekday.
What a weekday. And
Close
what a
enough.
weekday it is.
What a
weekday.
weekday! Let's get into it. RFK Jr. landed an endorsement from a very recognizable name this week: disgraced actor Kevin Spacey. Spacey tweeted in support of Kennedy's presidential bid, saying, "There's a lot I can learn from this man. When the world turned its back on me, Bobby leaned in. He's a formidable fighter for justice and a loyal friend that's not afraid to stand up for what he believes." Was that a terrible impersonation?
It sent chills up my spine. It
It
sounded
really
exactly like
did,
him.
which is
All right.
Well, remember when
appropriate
he was
effect.
doing every Christmas he would release an ominous video that we all had to watch for some reason, reminding us he's still alive. Yeah.
As an advocate for mental health, I'd like to say that crazy is not a diagnosis. RFK Jr. is not one of us. I am a certified peer specialist with the state of California, and I can acknowledge, though, that RFK Jr. does have symptoms of spasmodic dysphonia. An idiot.
It could be both.
Okay.
You could have both.
It's possible to just be a dum-dum and not need meds at all. All right. This week, we get into the sexiest part of Donald's hush money trial, the bookkeeping. I have to say, numbers are sexy. My hubby had a credit score of 550 on our first date. I asked him for his credit score, but he owned his 95 Saturn outright. My husband has also invoiced me for butt play, but I billed him back for blogging about it. Okay. On Monday, jurors got to take a look at the allegedly fake records behind Trump's 34 felony charges of falsifying records. Ex-Trump Organization controller Jeffrey McConney testified about the 12 payments of $35,000 made to Trump's fixer, Michael Cohen, in the last days of Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. And I know what you're thinking. Trump controller? No one can control that man. McConney said that the money was categorized on Trump Org paperwork as Cohen's retainer. However, Cohen did not have a retainer with the company at the time. But judging by that bottom row, maybe it should have gone to Michael Cohen's Invisalign, honey. Instead, the payments came from one of Trump's personal bank accounts. Talk about lack of consent. Trump 1099 Stormy's LLC from his heavy-breathing escort. Look, we've all fudged payments for deductions. My Skechers Snoop Dogg slip-ons don't count as a costume. And the 3-can margaritas I just drank alone aren't research. Maybe Trump needs a spending plan. What he needs to do, you set aside a paper envelope and you put in bubble letters on it in pink. Sex worker hush money. And then anytime you have an extra dollar, you put it in the envelope. That way, next time you need it, it's there. Prosecutors allege the money was reimbursement for the cash Cohen paid Stormy Daniels in exchange for her silence about sleeping with Donald Trump. On the other hand, that's just natural. You keep quiet about it. keep it on the DL. After McConney finished testifying, Trump appeared to give him 2 fist pump gestures as he left the stand. What? I can't believe that's real.
He's kind of physically falling apart because he's also falling asleep and farting. I feel like his body's just losing control.
Like concaving in on itself.
Yeah. Did he let out a couple of goose?
Maria, I wish he'd been here the last 2 weeks. He was part of a storm. Now he's just gesturing wildly.
It's like an Adam Sandler movie in here.
Oh my God, that's kind of... I mean, why am I want to say the word wonderful. I want to say wonderful, but that's so gross and wonderful. Which could either mean these pump gestures, these fist pump gestures, could either mean McConney met Trump's expectations, or he was experiencing a specific type of tinnitus where you occasionally hear the opening bars of The Village People's YMCA. Also on Monday, Judge Juan Merchan found Trump in contempt for the 10th time for violating his gag order, threatening the former president with jail time if he continued. You do that just an 11th more time. God dang you. Can we literally gag him at this point or have Stormy do it because she's the only professional in this courtroom? Said Judge Merchan, Mr. Trump, it's important. This sounds a lot like my other impersonation of a man. Mr. Trump, it's important you understand the last thing I want you to do is put you in jail. Really? Why would that be the last thing? Don't you as a judge kind of want to have or be kind of not on the fence about putting someone in jail at the very least? You're the former president of the United States and possibly the next president as well. Oh my God, fact, don't remind me, said everyone in the courtroom in a chorus. The judge fined Trump $1,000, adding to his previous fines of $9,000, $1,000 for each violation. There goes the spray tan budget. It's a good thing he gets the 10th visit free. That's right. Gratis. That's how it works. Outside, in what we hope is a bit of viral marketing, several people in masks from the home invasion horror movie The Strangers stood staring at the courthouse.
They're a little farther away.
They're tiny. I was expecting us to move.
They're to the right of the light. There's like 3 people in black staring directly at us.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of an assembly of terrifying masked individuals.
It kind of evokes the viral marketing that they were doing for that movie Smile a few years ago, if you remember that.
Where people were creepily smiling at baseball games, basically sitting behind the home plate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's terrifying.
They found a way to make this all more unsettling.
Yeah, not great. Not a great development. I think we could all agree.
This is clearly political commentary. I think they're referencing how Trump sat on his hand before putting it into the Bible to be sworn in. I don't know the reference to this putting.
No, we did talk about this.
We
did talk about this. And we did make a decision together to put this joke in. And I was very honored. I didn't write it. It's not my joke.
No, you sit on your sleeping hand. This is a
sit
millennial.
on your hand, that's fine. You sit on your normal hand and it falls asleep when you sit on it.
Yeah.
And then you masturbate with it.
You masturbate with it because you don't know what your hand is doing. Your right hand doesn't know what your left hand is doing. Has anyone read the Bible? Okay. We're putting it on the Bible to be sworn in. Okay, I'm going to move on. The FAA opened a new investigation into Boeing this week after the company admitted to employees that it might not have completed inspections on certain Boeing 787 Dreamliners. The offending planes will be rebranded as Screamliners. Meanwhile, Boeing Starliner space capsule was set to be launched Monday night. The program's first launch carrying human pilots. I'm sorry, they're letting who send a what, where, and carrying what? So sorry if you're sick of hearing about Challengers lately, but I believe we have another Challenger on the way.
Jesus. That's not good.
However, the launch was called off due to a stuck valve. Am I right? The Starliner program has dealt with a number of problems on its journey into orbit, including a 2019 attempt that failed after a clock was set to the wrong time and caused the engine thrusters to ignite too early. But they ignited it at exactly the right time if you live in Cupertino. To the Boeing Starliner, You got this, Diva. Everyone suffers from imposter syndrome every now and then. Don't let anyone tell you you aren't an aircraft safe for human passenger or that you don't have the right amount of bolts, that you don't have to go to school for that. This week's manned launch was initially scheduled for last year, but was scuttled after it was discovered that tape used to wrap hundreds of feet of wiring was flammable, in addition to the craft's parachute lines being weaker than expected. What's the hurry to leave Earth? Is there something I should know about, guys?
Oh, Maria, I'm sorry. This is where you find out it's all bad. It's all bad down here.
Would you rather at this point get in a spacecraft manufactured by Boeing or a spacecraft manufactured by SpaceX?
SpaceX has had manned launches that actually did work. And honest to God, when we were writing this, I was like, boy, I feel bad that making you talk about the news. And it seems to be worse when this shuttle explodes, and then they literally stopped it because it had a malfunction. Like listen, I don't want to get sued by Boeing, but something is bad wrong over there.
Well, it's not something you really want to leave up to chance in any way.
I say we let I believe it's a worker-owned company, Southwest, get in on this.
Give them a shot.
Wait, is Southwest worker-owned?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not at all.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It should be.
It should be, and
it will be.
Then it could also make stops on the way to space. All right. Bernie Sanders announced he'll be seeking a fourth term this week. In his announcement video, 82-year-old Vermont senator railed against pharmaceutical companies, called for global cuts to carbon emissions, and demanded the nation codify Roe versus Wade. I'm half his age. Am I half his age? No, I'm very close to his age, and I'm exhausted just getting through this monologue. So good for him. Give him hell, Bernie. Bernie also said of Trump versus Biden,
this 2024 election is the most consequential election in our lifetimes. Will the United States continue to even function as a democracy? Or will we move to an authoritarian form of government?
his skin is glowing.
He looks great.
He does.
The extremely old and infirm are now taking our jobs. I say we build a curb. Over the weekend, Kristi Noem, that's how you pronounce it, defended shooting her baby, tiny, fluffy puppy, Cricket, as described in the South Dakota governor's new memoir. The lady doth kill dogs too much. While a guest on CBS's Face the Nation, Noem declared that it is President Biden's dog, Commander, who should be put down.
Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt before you make a decision on a dog and what to do with it?
Well, he's not living at the White House
That's
anymore.
a question that the president should be held accountable to.
It's never not surprising that her full glam is the full glam of a New Jersey housewife. It's never not shocking.
Oh, I'm gonna get when 100%. I get my face left. That's what it's gonna look like. You're gonna be afraid it's just gonna rip off my head. Like that's what I want.
That her face is gone.
Yeah.
Like
it's,
there are no remnants of what personality was once there.
No. You have to wear that much eyeliner in order to just actually be able to know she has eyes.
Oh man. Oh, I hope she's okay. Otherwise, someone will have to take her out back. It saved everyone time if instead of doing it this way, Noem just listed the dog she doesn't want to shoot. This is proof that the book is not good, as there are full chapters about the dog she wants to kill the most. Snoopy. Now, she did not mention Snoopy. She had a couple.
That's for the sequel.
That's for the sequel, right. Noem wrote in her book, Commander, say hello to Cricket. This is from her one-woman show titled Governor Scarface, but for dogs. Kudos to whoever in Noem's circle triple dog dared her with this one. She has taken it quite literally, and my hat is off to you, good sir, ma'am. When asked about the story Monday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters,
Here, this is a country that loves dogs, and you have a leader talking about putting dogs down, killing them. And that's a disturbing statement to say. I would say to her is she probably should stop digging herself in a hole.
And start digging holes for all the dogs she plans on killing. Ooh. Noem vowed to hunt down and kill over 40,000 dogs this year, which is the average number of Americans killed per year by guns, because guns don't kill people. Women kill dogs. On Monday, President Biden placed a call to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss, in part, efforts to secure a hostage deal. This is why a phone call is so important. Texting, it's really hard to know tone. You need to use punctuation or an emoji when you're talking to someone older. I live in Los Angeles, of course, and the dog park is a place where often the topic of war comes up. And it's hard to know where people stand. I can't tell because it's a hot issue. Mm-hmm. So you think you know how people are oriented by how they name their dog. Is your dog Goldie for Golda Meir, or is it, it's hard to know where people stand.
Yeah, just to find yourself having the most intense conversations of human history. Like these are like existential questions, and it's like, so what's your wiener dog's name? Oh, I like his little handkerchief. Yeah. And then to immediately get into it is so hard. I feel like that's like everyone is experiencing that. Yeah. I don't even have a dog, and I feel like I'm at that dog park.
Personally, I choose my conversations at the dog park based on how many black people your dog has barked at.
Maria.
Muffin mostly barks just at bigger dogs.
Okay.
That's great.
So, yeah, as far as I know, she's a really good girl. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She wouldn't tell you, of course, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's a really good girl. She has 5 dresses. Oh. And they were not all... Some of them were gifts. Well, the one thing I do know about the dog park that we have, it's that it's illegal and there are no fences.
This sounds like just someone's yard or something.
Yeah, no.
You're just using a backyard.
It's the sheriff stops by and says, hey, you got to leash up. I don't know if that's a metaphor for human rights everywhere, but
almost certainly not.
I love that the sheriff is showing up to your dog park, yet the lights were out at one of the most dangerous intersections in North Hollywood this morning, and there wasn't a cop to be found.
That's not their priority.
God. When I first moved here, there was a car just stuck in an intersection for 3 days. I was like, wow, LA is a different kind of place. Yeah.
Which intersection?
Wait, what? I'm sorry. Say more.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember which one it was. Damn. I'm really sorry. I'm bad at everything.
Right. I was asked as someone who basically does not drive.
I don't
which
drive.
intersection
Yeah, that's
it was.
like,
yeah.
That one where it's down there near that.
That one big one.
Nearby Waxer. Like I'm just like it's not Silver Lake, but it's like not too far away. Yeah. I know. Sorry, God.
I'm in unincorporated Los Angeles. I'm in Altadena, so that's where we have the sheriff. Otherwise, no, the LAPD does not show up unless, of course, you're mentally ill.
To dance. Yeah.
You're mentally ill and you're wielding a screwdriver. Then they would like to shoot you in the head. That's sorry. Was that too dark?
No.
I don't know anymore.
Theme of the episode?
I mean, considering what we talked about, this is just the news.
Yeah.
A week of news is just horror after horror. So I think there's value in acknowledging that.
Yeah, okay. It's true.
Okay.
My husband and I, we sent a dog. We give 11% of our income to charity, which is one. I don't want to get in a fight about this, but it is 1% better than Christians or Jews.
I agree with that.
Just saying, we're getting into all the afterlives.
There you go.
That's what it's based on. So we've given it all to Doctors Without Borders. But then I was like, well, what, is that good? It's like you deep dive on anything, and it's like, well, the thing is with Doctors Without Borders is that they're French.
And what does that mean?
I don't know. Médecins Sans Frontières.
That's why I only donate to figure skating charities.
All right. Okay. All right.
Very smart.
Well, I know actors sometimes get into politics, but comedians often have very interesting premises of ways to de-escalate conflict. I once heard a guy at a Go Bananas in Cincinnati suggest that we send in a marching band into the Middle East. That the purposefulness and positivity of a high school marching band might really just, take people out of their mindset for a second. So,
I think there's something to that. I think part of the reason that people are mad at college protesters is that they're not broken and bitter yet. Yeah. So they have a theater kid marching band energy. Yeah. They're like, can you believe this? It's like, well, yeah, they're 18. Like, they don't know yet. Right. Like, not like they don't know, but it's like, well, yeah, like, let's celebrate that enthusiasm or like that optimism. Like, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, and I could protest. My first protest was the Gulf War, where I unfortunately put on my face what I thought was the peace sign. It turned out to be a Mercedes-Benz logo. It really does represent what I I do love luxury goods, and I don't mind that. But it's sometimes have any of you gone to the protests that have been on the college campuses?
I haven't been to the colleges. I went to a couple earlier this year, and I just want to say it is the Mercedes-Benz logo or peace sign, and that kind of is the decision we're all facing. Right. Unfortunately, it's just like that actually is 100%. Yeah, what we're all talking about.
Yeah, it's been less protests for me. I think like one of the most valuable things that I've been able to do is like not donating necessarily to charities, like large scale charities, but doing a lot of mutual aid and direct aid to like specific. I have like a lot of friends who are first generation Palestinian. And so donating directly to families or directly to like small organizations that they are kind of specifically recommending and like feeding you.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I fucked up.
hey, there's still plenty of time, Maria. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the world's not getting any better. There's plenty of time to try and help.
Has a war ever been sponsored by commercially?
Maybe not blatantly, but
yeah, certainly.
Kinda, yeah.
There are certainly brands, I will say, that had a name made for themselves in World War II, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Boeing, I mean, like, Biden just stopped a shipment of Boeing weapons, and it's like, then I will get on a Boeing plane and have it explode in the sky. It is, like, whether or not they're sponsoring it overtly, I suppose, aren't they, I guess?
Yeah. Coco Chanel, Hugo Boss, Mercedes, they're all, like, very connected to me. To Germany.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you had that painted on your face, Maria.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. She loves them.
Well. I always fly Delta, but I'm sure there's something bad about that. My mother told me that wasn't important to have brand loyalty, which is...
I'm a Hilton Diamond member. I get it.
Really? Oh my God, you're a Diamond member. That means you get Swedish fish when you check in.
Yeah, and a warm cookie at some of them.
Oh yeah, no, DoubleTree.
Yep.
Come on. But sometimes, I've got to say, the DoubleTree cookie has gotten smaller.
Oh.
And this is the kind of thing that's keeping me from acting on a grassroots level politically.
All right, we're going to figure this out. All right, should we close it out?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Maria.
No.
This is all great.
This is what we do every week. This feels exactly. We're all very comfortable because this is exactly how it goes. And often it goes worse. This has been great. This has been really lovely. Again, it's an odd place to be comedic.
No, I love it.
In front of producers you don't know staring at you.
No, I've really enjoyed myself, and this is better than any podcast I've been on. Because sometimes you're on podcasts and there's the star of the podcast, and then there's a team of writers who all laugh, and then and that's confusing because there's this level of fear that they're going to lose their jobs. At least that's what I fear.
I'm ready to go. You just sent me back.
And finally, Nicolas Cage and FKA Twigs are set to star in a horror movie about the childhood of Jesus Christ. And personally, I think they nailed the casting. As we all know, Christ is claimed as a character in the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish franchises in Jerusalem, so there should be no problem with the copyrights. They're calling the movie Jesus Christ Spooky Star.
Jesus Christ Spooky Star.
Great ending, great ending, great
Maria,
ending.
this was such a treat. We really appreciate it.
So
much fun.
Thank you for
I
coming.
love to
We
be
love
a part
you.
of the process.
We're in love with you.
I love you. I love podcasts. I love the democratic process, no matter how flawed. I am voting. I'm going to do this in a super serious lady voice.
Great.
You already know the stakes of the 2024 election. Want to help but don't know where to start? Vote Save America has you covered. In 2020, Vote Save America mobilized over 300,000 people to take action. And this year, with the stakes still so high, they're going big, they're going bold, they're going east versus west. All you have to do is sign up, and you'll be assigned a team and matched with opportunities tailored to you and the causes you care about. Vote Save America will track how many calls you've made, texts you've sent, doors you've knocked, and shifts you've filled as your team pursues the biggest prize of all, the continuation of American democracy. Head to votesaveamerica.com/2024 now and get ready to organize, or else. This message has been paid for by Vote Save America. You can learn more at votesaveamerica.com, and this ad has not been authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Beautiful.
That's been What a Weekday. I'm Maria Bamford. Thanks for having me.
If you could say, see you sluts on Saturday, please.
See you sluts on Saturday.
Yay! Thank you, Maria.
It's love it or leave it.